You wouldn't believe any of this looking outside today, but by this time tomorrow, there is going to be some snow, and in some areas, quite a bit of it on the ground.
Possibly, for sure. Terrain is everything around here, Darren. One of the most complex areas forecast is our neck of the woods. And we've got the snow coming in, and everyone's going to be at a different temperature tomorrow. I mean, just look at today, for example. We have folks at 52. We have some folks at 45. That 7-degree difference may not sound like a whole bunch, but when it comes to snowfall forecasting, it is everything. When temperatures, are 35, 36, you can still get some snow. Because what's going to be happening tomorrow is that snowstorm comes in, but we've got this lingering warm air. Some of us will be in the 40s right around lunchtime tomorrow, but it's a very shallow pocket of 40s. So you've got a snowflake that's coming in, and will it melt in that smaller pocket right before it hits the ground where you live? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Sometimes it's going to be coming so heavy that it's going to be able to just burst through that pocket. It's kind of like taking an ice cube out of the freezer. You hold it outside the freezer. Does it melt instantly? No, it takes some time, but it's starting to melt, especially in your warm hand. That's the case with the snow too. So that's what makes it a little bit tricky when it comes to how much snow you're going to get. But at least this evening, no matter what your plans are, we're looking good. Got mostly clear skies, so if you're trying to head to the grocery store and get some extra groceries, easy evening to do it when it comes to the weather. Tomorrow morning, also, we're going to be fine as you're headed out the door. In the River Valley, we've got 50s now. We'll be in the 40s by about 6 o'clock. We've got mostly clear skies. It's kind of crazy to go from those clear skies over to that mix of rain and snow by tomorrow midday and into the afternoon. But these winter storm warnings outlined in the pink color extend all the way from southwest Oklahoma towards Fort Sill, right into the Spire area, Fort Chaffee, and then right as you head north and east towards Fort Leonard Wood. Lots of snow expected across parts of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. All right, so what's next? We're pretty quiet until about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right around 10 o'clock, we're going to notice these bands of precipitation coming in, but a lot of us are going to be well above freezing. It's probably going to be a mix. Some rain, kind of half melted snowflakes going on from 10 to about noon. By about 2 o'clock, northwest Arkansas will start getting that heavy snow. The higher up you live, the earlier that heavy snow is going to start, because we'll break through that warm pocket that's going to be kind of lingering around parts of western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. Parts of eastern Oklahoma will also get that heavy snow starting around 2 o'clock, especially if you live near Kavanaugh Hill, Poto Mountain, and Sugarloaf. Parts of the River Valley from Mount Magazine south to Blue Mountain, and then south to the Waldron area, we could even start getting some snow by the mid-afternoon. Closer to the river, though, it's going to take us a little bit longer, but I think by 7 o'clock, most of us are in that pure snow mode. Of course, we're going to be doing a bunch of live streams tomorrow. We'll have updates throughout the day. We'll have updates on the website as those times will slowly change over time. But right now, don't expect them to change more than an hour or two. We're starting to get close enough to where this is what we pretty much think is going to happen. Now, overnight tonight, clouds will increase after midnight or so. We're pretty cloudy to start tomorrow, and then the precipitation comes in. This is 1 o'clock. Rain area wide, but higher elevations getting some of that snow. Notice that as we get closer to that 2 o'clock time frame, we start to balloon with snow over northwest Arkansas. Once we change over to snow, there's no going back. In the River Valley, we've got that heavy snow likely just south of Poto. Once you get in some of the terrain of the Ouachitas there towards Big Cedar and south of Mount Magazine, we're going to get some of that snow. Later in the evening, closer to 6, 7 o'clock, most of us are in snow. Now, some of us right along the Arkansas River could still be getting a bit of a mix, but I think we're going to start to accumulate things after 7 o'clock. You can see kind of fighting that rain-snow line right there next to some of the warmer air by the river. But we do think Fort Smith Van Buren, I think we'll get some of that cool air coming in from Oklahoma, and we'll cool off. And it's just pure snow past midnight. By 2 to 3 o'clock, though, Wednesday morning, we're done with the heavy snow. There could be some flurries, but then we're done. Mix changes over to snow tomorrow, both in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, as temperatures will finally start to drop later in the day. Good snowfall for the western corner of the state, Darren. We're expecting about 3 to 6 inches for much of the River Valley, close to the Arkansas River, maybe 1 to 3, but that's still a good snow for us.
Sure it is.
And then in northwest Arkansas, we're aiming towards about a half foot. But in the mountains, I would not be surprised if we had a few reports of a foot. Now, just a couple things to wrap up with. I think the roads will still just be wet around noon, but they'll start to become snow covered throughout the afternoon. Bridges and overpasses will become slushy. And because this snow is going to be very wet, it's very heavy. There could be a few power outages.
Yeah, so I was wondering about kids heading home from school and from work tomorrow afternoon. Could be very interesting.
It could be tricky, for sure.
Okay. All right, Matt, thanks. Still ahead on your 5 News First at 4. Final farewell to Lisa Marie Presley. We'll take you to Graceland, where the king's daughter was laid to rest.